Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state meet his counterpart in Azerbaijan. The government annual meetings on the National Labour Council. For the international scene, Turkey renews its treaty with Syria. Welcome to our newsroom. Before his return to Djibouti and the emergence of the 18th General Conference of the Non-Aligned Movement in Baku, Azerbaijan, the President of the Republic has had to head the meeting with the President of Azerbaijan, Mr. Ilham Aliyev. The discussion is focused on the friendly and cooperative relations between the Republic of Djibouti and Azerbaijan, ways and means of further consolidating it. The files of interest were discussed during the meeting of the two presidents, in particular Djibouti's candidacy for the seat of non-permanent members of the Security Councils of the United Nations. The two countries have strong relationship in many areas, including aeronautics. Foreign Ministers Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, Djibouti's ambassador to Azerbaijan, reside in Moscow. Dr. Mohammed Ali Kamil, Djibouti's ambassador to the United States, and Djibouti's representative of the United Nations, Ziad Douale, took part in the meetings between the two heads of state. For Djibouti ambassadors to Azerbaijan, Dr. Mohammed Ali Kamil, the 18th General Conference of the Non-Aligned Movement, in which the President of the Republic participated, was important to support Djibouti's effort for its development and in international instances. The Minister of Defense in charge of relations with Parliament, Hassan Omar Mohammed, has received on Sunday, 27 October 2019, the new ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt, accredited to the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Mohammed Mustafa Orfi, accompanied by the Deputy Head of the Mission, Yara Karam, and in the presence of the technical advisors to the Minister, Mr. Iltile Ibrahim Farah. This visit is part of the new Egyptian ambassador's towers of contact with the country's highest authority. During the visit, the Minister and the ambassadors reviewed the basis of the bilateral relation and the prospects for strengthening the bonds of friendship and cooperation between the two countries, welcoming the strong bond of friendship and cooperation between the two countries, reiterating their determination to work toward their further consolidate and expansion. The Minister of Defense, Hassan Omar Mohammed, also raised several subjects relating areas of cooperating and expressed the shared wish to develop a real development partnership in the field of defense. The Minister of National Education Vocational Training, Mustafa Mohammed Mahamoud, has presided over the official launch ceremony for the implementation pilot project on balanced and inclusive education at the People's Palace. Secretary of State for Decentralization, Mr. Hamadou Mohammed Aramis, and President of the Education Relief Foundation, Sheikh Mansour bin Musallam, took part in the ceremony, which took place at People's Palace. About 50 teachers, school principals, and pedagogical advisors in the disciplines of French, history, geography, and science, and they had to receive 3 days trainings on the pilot project, as well as on the concept of balanced and inclusive education, and on the analysis of science, French and history, geographic curricula through the prism of and in an opinion address, Mustafa Mohammed Mahamoud recalled that a vast project to transform the education system is underway. Every effort is being made to ensure that the right of all to quality education is a reality for the children living in the countries. The minister addressed the teachers to them. For his part, in an opening address, Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud recalled that the vast project to transform education systems is underway. Every effort is being made to ensure that the right of all a quality education becomes a reality for all children living in the countries without distinctions. The minister then addresses the teachers to remind them that they are the teachers of the pilot project who will have to explore, identify, experiment, and reconsider the actions of teaching and reflecting to rethink our schools in order to make it truly inclusive. The National Council for Labor, Employment and Social Security contests held its annual meetings at the Sheraton Hotel. Its annual meetings, this year's meeting was a special nature in that the consultation is focused on social issue of interest to the world of work in a spirit of dialogue, consultation, interest, inherent and tripartism, legal ways and means that can also facilitate the integrations of people into the local labor market, chaired by the Minister of Labor in charge of administrative reform, Isman Ibrahim Roble. The meeting was attended by the Minister of Women and Family, Mumin Ahmed Hassan, the Minister of Transport, Musa Mohammed Ahmed, and President of the SNED, Hikmat Dawood, and several officials from public institutions. The missions of contests, the compositions of this limited and heterogeneous public suggest on think that contest is a three-party consultation structure bringing together representatives from the respective ranks of government, business, and labor. It gives its opinion in cases where regulatory acts must be taken pursuant to the labor code. Other of its tasks is the issue opinions and formulate proposals resolution on labor legislation. For his part, the Minister Mumin Ahmed Hassan said this was the vehicle purpose of these morning meetings and Sheraton Hotel last morning, so where the members of the board discussed access conditions. Its purpose is to study problems concerning work, labor, movement, guidance, employment, placement, collective agreement, negotiations, the attributions. Ministers of Women and Family, Mumin Ahmed Hassan, has thanked the organizers of this conference. She hammered that this annual is essential to know how was being the future for our fellow citizens. For his part, the Minister of Labor, Mr. Isman Ibrahim Roble, has congratulated the Ministers of Women and Family to participate at this great annual conference. He tells that this work is done every year by the Department of Labor to put in place a real way to help to bearers of our fellow citizens. An awareness-raising workshop on the free trade area agreement between the African Economic Community, the Southern African Economic Community, and the COMESA Common called the opened this morning at the People's Palace, chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry of Commerce, Mr. Ali Dawood Abdo. The workshop aims to popularize the progress of the participation process of the member state. The agreement were signed in 2015 in Sharm el-Sheikh in Egypt by 26 African countries, including the Republic of Djibouti. It is a free trade area from Cairo to Cape South Africa, bringing together the three economic community of COMESA and composed of more than 500 million consumers. This extensions workshop, which brought together the focal points of these various ministerial institutions and representative of the private sector, is in the first in all a series of meetings organized by the Djibouti Ministry of Commerce, whose work will continue until next Tuesday. During this inaugural speech at this seminar, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Commerce, Mr. Ali Daoud Abdo, stressed the importance of the tripartite for inter-African trade. The Minister of Women and Family and the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, organized this morning's a two-day workshop at Djibouti Palace Campus Key on the team's role and contributions of Djibouti's Association for Better Gender and Social Inclusions in Economic and Social Development Approaches and Program. This event was carried out by the USAID-funded capacity buildings project to Djibouti associations implement as part of the bilateral cooperation between the United States and Djibouti. The project to strengthen the capacity of Djibouti associations is in line with the Djibouti 2035 vision by focusing on good governance and consolidations of human capital. To this end, this project provides technical assistance to achieve the following results. Djibouti's associations in the education and health sectors benefit from more efficient management. Association strengthen their capacity to promote gender address services for all and protections of vulnerable population. And finally, the association are evolving in a more favorable environment. The objective is to strengthen Djibouti's associations in the field of gender and social inclusion, to encourage them and become better initiatives and collaboration with the Minister of Women and Family and dedicated department agencies in order to better take gender and social inclusion into the account in their interventions approach. This workshop will last 2 days and closing is scheduled from tomorrow, Monday, 28 October 2019. In her welcomes address, the regional representative, Ms. Josephine, made a recommendation that accompanied the concrete actions to be implemented and also identified mechanisms for synergy actions to improve different present at the workshop. For his part, the Deputy Representative of USAID, Alpha Suleiman Diallo, said that this multi-stakeholders consultation workshop aims to facilitate reflections to identify the roles and contribution of Djibouti's association and the Ministry of Women and Family, improving gender mainstreams and social inclusion. For her part, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Women and Family said that the multi-stakeholders consultation workshop aims to facilitate reflections to identify the role and contribution of Djibouti Association and the Ministry of Women and Family in improving gender mainstreams and social inclusion. The Djibouti Chamber of Commerce, in collaboration with the German Embassy in Djibouti, officially launched today the Djibouti Business Guide. This important ceremony was attended by the President of the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce, Yusuf Musa Dawale, our Ambassador to Germany, Adan Mohamed Dileta, the Secretary General of the Gorfa, Abdulaziz Al-Makhlafi, and the German Ambassador to Djibouti, Anke Holstein. This business guide will have a significant impact on the development of the foreign investment in Djibouti. The ceremony, which saw the participations of several government representatives, testify to the clear will of the Djibouti authorities to contribute to the
guide, realized in cooperation with Gorfa and in part sponsored by the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce and other important Djibouti associates. With explanations, facts, and numbers, you will find out that the Republic of Djibouti offers a vast array of business opportunities. With this guide, you will have the opportunity to get an insight into the most recent economic trend development and the potential offered by the different sectors.
The president of the Chamber of Commerce, Yusuf Musa Dawali, has indicated that this Djibouti business guide will be a great opportunity.
Some word in English, because I know that some of the delegation are not speaking French. We are very sorry because we have no translation at this moment, but thanks to be with us, thanks to be part of this guide, and thanks to the ambassadors and the Secretary General of ORFA to organize this mission, because it's very important for us that we welcome you in the Chamber of Commerce, who have got this year 112 years old. This is one of the oldest institutions in the country. And as I said, in the Pan-African Chamber of Commerce also, we are talking how we can make sustainable relation with the German business community in general and in Europe.
The prefect of Ali Sabah region, Musa Adan Migane, has started his contact towers in the villages of Gestir, sub-prefectures of Ali Ade. The prefect and his strong delegations were warmly welcomed by the sub-prefect Shaban Dahir Musa. The inhabitant of the villages met with the populations and assessed all administrative, social, health, and safety aspects of education. During his visit to this rural land area, Sub-Prefect Musa Adam Migane was accompanied by the Deputy Prefect Muhammad Humad Abbas, the Director of the Regional Hospital, Dr. Ahmed Absiye, Mr. Muhammad Suge Ainan, the Regional Inspectors of Education, Ahmed Hamadou Ibrahim, the Chief of the Bias Camp Corps of the Djibouti Armed Forces, Colonel Abdul Wasi Ben Mohammed, the Police Detachment Commanders, and the Gendarmerie Regional Detachment Commander. The new prefect first thanked the peoples of Gesti for the warm welcome, and then, mentioning the purpose of his visit, also took turns speaking. Then welcomed the new prefect of Ali Sabah region. Subsequently, the delegations visit various services such as hospital, primary school. The prefect of Oboh, Abdul Malik Mohammed Benoita, has made the contact towers to the villages near the capital city on Wednesdays, 22, Thursday, 29 October, accompanied by the president of the regional council, Mohammed Humad Ismail, and the local elected officials of these villages. It is through the locality of Dalef, Orobor, being on the corridors and the towers of delegations began on the first day. So on the second day, delegation went to the Assassin. It was a question of meeting to the community and seeing firsthand the situations of the existing infrastructure and the achievement and the way after the warm welcome extended by the people of each village's constructive and fruitful exchange took place between the two parties on several points. As a result, it was decided to strengthen future collaboration and set up a mechanism to prioritize needs in order to improve their living conditions and reduce vulnerability. These towers took place in a friendly atmosphere of mutual respect. The Djibouti Federation of Dakaitorio has organized an international internship under the directions of the world experts Ms. Melanie Chose, who will provide internship through the territory of the Republic of Djibouti. This course is intended for all Dakaitorio practitioners, adults and children to prepare future Dakaitorio ambassadors from the Republic of Djibouti and around the world. The Djibouti Federation of Dakaitorio would like to thank the President of the Republic for His Excellency Mohamed Gele, who believed in this real martial discipline and who makes Dakaitorio a national discipline, without forgetting thanks to the Grandmaster Sensei Loretta, who created this noble discipline. The day of the Dekhel ceremony is closed with the presentation of certificate to all participants of Dakaitorio. For the international scene in Syria, Turkey reviewed its threat. Recep Tayyip Erdogan was again threatens this Saturday. The Turkish president has called on Syrian Kurdish forces to move away from the Turkish borders before next Tuesday's deadline, failing which he intends to crack down. According to a sixth agreement with Russia, Ankara has suspended its offensive to allow the Kurds to leave the border strips. Recep Tayyip Erdogan addresses this second threat to the Europeans, accusing them of not having paid all the aid promised to Turkey to take care of the refugee. Meanwhile, Russia, which plays a key role in Syria, has deployed its military police to ensure the withdrawal of the Kurds. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.